he's connected here.
Yeah, it's good
And
pressure.
that knee again. Thomas hurt.
Hit him with the left hand.
Thomas up with the 1-2.
I'm telling you, the knees from the Ritter.
Coming in over the top. It is a thunderbolt from Whittaker that floors the...
Nice combo coming back from McGee. Right hand. And in favour of McGee, closing the line.
Power punches out there to see what's going on, to see what's the angle I'm going to... Oh, my goodness! Oh, he's split open.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
brilliance.
Oh, what a line. Petr Yan is that guy. You know what I'm saying? Kicks.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful combination.
Just finding different target.
Hi, it's me again. Tell me you didn't like the fights. Tell me you did not like the fights from UFC Abu Dhabi. First things first, before we get into it, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, engage in the comment section. That is the opening line and formality until we get this page to at least 10K. Support this channel, guys. Like, share. Now, formalities out of the way. I really enjoyed UFC Abu Dhabi. I particularly liked Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee, Shara Magomedov versus Barry Alt, and the main event, Renier de Ridder versus Robert Whittaker. All wins were well earned and well deserved, and I understand that there's some controversy online about the decision in the main event, and I'm going to get to that in this pretty short video. But let's start first with Petr Yan. Guys, Petr Yan is back. Petr Yan is now on a 3-fight win streak. It's all been decisions, but a win is a win. He's on a 3-fight win streak, coming off 2 losses. And I'm telling you, vintage Petr Yan showed up for Marcus McGee on the night. I mean, Petr Yan, completely technical, very calm, great footwork, great head movement as always. And Petr Yan gave it to McGee. Like, he put on more damage. He pretty much walked him down, was more technical. He had 1 or 2 trips during the fight. I'm like, Petr Yan is well-rounded. I don't really understand what was going on with him in the stint where he had the 2 losses. I think one was to Aljo. Was it Aljo or O'Malley? Don't care. I actually don't care, if I'm being honest. So even if I get that information wrong, I still don't care. I was very happy to see Petr Yan back in tip-top form. And from the look of things, there's no other conversation to have other than Petr Yan's next fight should be for the winner between Merab and Corey Sandhagen. Doesn't matter. I think he's earned it. He's a former champion. He's a really good champion for that division when he was the champion. He's very skilled, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. Talk about someone putting in the work to get himself in the right position for a title shot or a title run again. If you have opposing opinions, feel free to tell me, but I don't think anybody's going to disagree with what I just said. How can you disagree with Petr Yan's position right now? Anyway, transition to my fight of the night. Shara Magomedov versus Barry Alt. Guys, I need to say something, and I need to say this loud and clear. Every time Shara Bullet fights, we seem to forget that man fights with a disability. He has 1 eye. The only other person who's attained some level of prominence in the UFC with 1 eye was Michael Bisping after Vitor Belfort, kicked his right eye out, essentially. Vitor Belfort busted up Michael Bisping's retina when they fought. And of course, as we all know, Belfort ended up, popping for some juices at the time, but different story for another day. But my point is back to Shara. Shara was back as well. Shara had good form. His kicks were crisp, his punches were beautiful, his head movement and lateral movement was also very, very on point. But in the second round, bruh, he might have gotten a bit too confident. Hands were a bit too low, and my Lord Jesus. Barrios cracked him straight in the nose and literally broke Shara's nose. If you watch the footage, you can go back to the beginning of this video, the little clips I put together, you'll see Shara Bullet's nose go from looking nice and straight and neat to being crooked as hell. And I just checked on before doing this video on some update. He's gone through he's successfully gone through the surgery. Apparently they had the surgery yesterday and he's out of the surgery, he's okay. But that nose cannot be touched anytime soon. But the man has one eye. And when I tell you he gave us a war of attrition between himself and Barrios, in fact, to be honest with you, you gotta commend even Barrios, because you're only as good as your dance partner. For a fight to be entertaining, you can't be Yoel Romero in a fight with Israel Adesanya. You've got to be the guy who brings it and takes it. You've got to be the guy who wants it. And I quite frankly, both of them did it. But I had Shara taking all 3 rounds completely. I think maybe I would have, maybe the second one would be the one that I could say was close. But like first and third round, that was Shara Bullets all the way. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any judges say. That's what my dumb ass says. Main event. What seems to be the issue? For those of you out there saying that Renier de Ridder did not deserve the W, guys, I admit it was a really close fight. I had it round 1 to Whitaker, round 2 to de Ridder, round 3 to Whitaker, round 4 to de Ridder by a small margin, and then round 5 also to de Ridder by a small margin. I don't think Robert Whitaker did enough, especially in the 5th round, to clinch the W. Rob was tired. Rob was gassed out. By the beginning of the 4th round, Robert Whitaker's crisp blitz with his jabs, it was pretty much slowed down with a lot of scrambling, and he had a lot to. De Ridder gave him a lot to think about with the scramble, and I'm telling you, Robert Whitaker, it was obvious from the start that was his game plan. He did not want to go to the ground with Renier de Ridder, and for good reason. But at the same time, you would think if you do not want to go to the ground with Renier de Ridder, you better be up and ready to strike with him. And even Rob wasn't able to strike with de Ridder. When de Ridder would get him in the clenches and with, the infamous de Ridder knees to the belly or to the body, those things were taking a toll on Rob Whitaker. They really were. So much so, you see Whitaker looking at the time several times. I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. When he's in there and he's looking at the time and it's not even the 4th round, it's not necessarily a good sign. And it's funny to me that Whitaker couldn't stand with de Ridder, because to me, Whitaker is a better striker. De Ridder has this really awkward style. De Ridder to me is his style is just as awkward as Dricus du Plessis. It doesn't look like his punches pack a lot of punch. his punches pack a lot of power. Doesn't look like his knees or his strikes do much damage. It doesn't look that way, but I bet you it does feel like you're being hit by a bulldozer. So, if Rob didn't want to go to the ground with him, tell me why he didn't prepare adequately enough to stand with the Ritter. He just didn't, and I'm sorry, you guys may disagree. That's fine. I thought it was a fair and balanced fight and result. Even the Ritter knew. He thought he was going to come in there to take Rob out in the first round. You don't take Robert Whittaker out in the first round, bro. Whatever Khamzat Chimaev did is a one-of-one. I don't care what you say. Robert Whittaker is still an elite fighter, former middleweight champion, is still at the top. He's still in the conversation every single time. But this is a setback. And I feel like Whittaker has just, I don't think Whittaker has another title run in him. I think he should just accept his fate where he is and just start looking for really nice super fights. Or not nice super fights, but just really fun fights. I think he's at that point now. I don't think a title run is anything that's going to be achievable with him anymore. I might be wrong, and he might prove me wrong, but I don't think that's happening. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you've been here this long, I love and appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button to support this channel and engage in the comment section, because my ass is pinned in the comment section watching all the time, even the crap people write. Mr. TDC out. Peace.